This is me. I look pretty much like this, right?
I think it's an amazing picture. I love it every time I see it.
It's just
I just
it's random, but anyway. This is me, and I just graduated from the 2-year master program of game development. But as I will talk about later, that I initially wanted to apply for then called digital narration, but now it's the a game aesthetics and narration program. So that was my um first thought when I wanted to apply for the university. But again, like I said, I think the biggest differences between the two programs is the time, and I wanted to study for 2 years, so I applied for the game development. And but I felt like that the three programs, so it's like serious games and game user experience and uh game aesthetics narration, works pretty closely with each other. And which I will also talk a little bit about later. But yeah, generally, like for today's presentation, I will start with uh, uh, about me and why did I choose to study here, and then how is it to live in Hovde, and then how is it to study in a university, and then what I am doing now since I just graduated. And yeah, so start with myself. Before I came here to study, I actually majored in art history in my bachelor program. And after graduation, I involved in a lot of curatorial practices in China, and mainly working on game exhibitions or other digital media exhibitions. So my road to games was mainly from my own interest. Like I participated in several game jams and short-term uh, game development workshop. And one of them was, oh wait, here. Yeah. One of them was this game development workshop that was held in 2019 by three professors from University of Hovde. So they visited China, visited Beijing, and held this workshop in collaboration with my previous school, which was super cool. And oh, you can see Lush here on the picture on the right. And um, what was I saying? Well, yeah, and I was impressed by how they talked about game art and art games, and how they like games can be used as tools to address several social issues. So it's like the idea of serious games, and that's really intrigued me a lot because I've always seen games as art and as like not only for entertainment but also like it's a oh, you know what I mean. And so that was why I started to consider doing a master program. But then came the pandemic, so I waited for 3 years. So I basically came here in 2023. So that was 2 years ago. And Hovde, like mentioned before, it's a very cozy little city. And on the left, the picture on the left were my previous student apartment that I rent in from the Hoofdstadter. And its yard, like its backyard, is a garden with these apple trees that you can just pluck. Like it's free. It has a sign saying that it will be mature in September, so just take as you want. And on the right side is also a view from my window. So it's like a beautiful, beautiful winter scene except that it could be a bit too long, but still it's a beautiful season. And here is some events that I have been participated in, and on the left is the Hofde Food Festival, which probably will be the first event that welcomes you as a new student here, because it's usually at the end of August. And you, as new students, you will get free coupons from the municipality or the school. I actually don't know. But anyway, you will get free coupons, and so you can use the coupons to explore the local foods and restaurants, and also they have live music outdoor on the square and everything. So you will have a schedule, like an agenda of 2 days, and you can decide what to do and have fun. And I really liked it. And yeah, on the bottom left, the picture is moose meat. And that was the first time in my life to try this. And on the right side is what is happening actually now. It's the Hofde Film Festival. Is usually from September to November, in which you can watch a lot of like international films in the city's cultural house. And also happening now is the Sweden Game Conference. It's an annual conference held in Skövde, and it's also one of the biggest game conference in Sweden. And at the same time, there will be Donna Day, like the Sweden Game Conference facing all public, or like game enthusiasts or like students. But Donna Day is mainly for female, trans, and non-binary people, specifically to support them in their career in the industry, because they might face more difficulties in this field. And there'll be panels and talks and workshops and networking and parties during 2 or 3 days, I guess. 3 days if including Donna Day. So that is also a very good opportunity for students to like get in touch with in the industry. Yeah, and more student life. Like we had this Chinese New Year's Eve last year, like with all international people to try Chinese cuisine and write this 对联. I actually don't know what's its English word, but it's a traditional activities that we do during this Chinese New Year. And also we have this cool pub located right next to the campus, and it's also my favorite place to go during the weekends. It's called AGES, where they have it's a gaming organization, and they have consoles, computers, TVs, and a lot of games. And I really like it because they have a lot of super old-fashioned, like old games on PS2 and PS3. So that's a very rare resource that you can reach. And also they also have board games. And I have spent so many lovely weekends there. And if you are a fan of outdoor activities, it will also be a good thing for you, because Hofte located sort of in between the two largest lakes here in Sweden, and also it's located in the UNESCO designated geopark. And so there'll be a lot of super nice places to go just for hiking or camping or just wandering around. And yeah, and there's so much more that I can't really put them in this short presentation. Like we have Midsummer Festival in June and San Lucia concert in December and the KB student bar that I also like. But yeah, so I guess most of them you have to explore yourself. And so how is it to study in the University of Hotei? I put my like two screenshots from my previous calendar. So the one on the left was from my first year, and one on the right would be from my second year. So it's a very typical one that you usually have more lectures and courses during the first year, and then it will become more flexible and you have more time to just arrange things for yourself, either it's group work or just individual study. But from what I know, because I'm from the 2-year program, so from what I know, if you are applying, if you're taking the game aesthetics and narration, even in the first year, there will be less courses than it's shown on this picture. And so it will be really a very flexible one. And also you don't like from what I know, the lectures are not mandatory, so you don't need to present in the courses, except those that you have presentations and seminar. So it's more like you can decide for yourself what's important and what to do. So it's a very different education philosophy, I would say. And the suggested time is 40 hours per week. And then I will show some of my previous projects during the study. And this one is an educational game that we developed in collaboration with the Geoparks and Biosphere Reserve here, and is targeting school students to teach them about natural and cultural knowledges within the area. And this is a typical one from the Serious Games course. And also this one, but this was an internship that I did during the study. So it's like I interned in a Serious Game studio located in Gothenburg and enrolled in one of their prototypes, which was an AR game for medical treatment for kids. And during that course, I combined this internship with the course itself. So at the end of the course, I just wrote a report based on this ethnographic study. And so both are from Serious Games, but in my second year, so it's the third semester, we have chances to select any courses from basically within the school, but mostly within the game related program. So I also took one from the game user experience. So it's less development focus than rather is more analyzing user experience. So we collaborated with a local indie game studio named Speldosa. They're also they're a startup company like in the Science Park, right? As I know. And so we worked with them to analyze one of their early prototype in terms of onboarding. So we did several play testings and to collect like interviews and collect data and analyze and to hand the report to the companies and also to the school. And I also selected one course from the digital game aesthetics narration. I'm still not used to the new name. It was so in this course, it was less practical focused. Like don't have to develop a concrete prototype in any ways, but instead you have to come up with a conceptual design based on an external client's needs, and the external clients should be museums or any similar cultural organizations. So during the course, I reached out to Tibro Museum. Tibro is another small city or town, like 20-30 minutes away from Hoofddorp. And I reached out to them, and Martin, who was the director of the museum, took us in a guiding tour in the museum, and he supported our work so much that we designed an interactive experience based on the museum's exhibition, and it was very cool. And we just present our designing idea, so we didn't really develop a prototype for that, but that course is just looking at your ideas and concepts more. So that, I think, can show some differences between the three programs, because I took all of them. But my thesis project was from my point of view, is more leaning to the game aesthetics and narrations. It's like I collaborated with Västergötland Museum in Skara and developed a location-based audio game based on one of their exhibitions named Skara in Middle Ages. So it's about the medieval history of the city, and the player can just put on headphones and listen to this instruction and walk around in the city and interact with the fictional characters in the game. And yeah, that's some projects that I have done during the study. And what about after study? I am not currently looking for a job specifically. I focus more on applying for a PhD, which is a pain in the ass. And and at the same time, I'm also studying Swedish, and it's not because I already finished the free Swedish course provided by the school in my first year. So now I'm studying in the vuxenutbildning, so it's adult education in Hoofddorp, and it's also free. And because I think it will really help a lot on my career and life here in Sweden, because I want to stay. And also I did some other fun things, include this one that I already introduced, to work with Lars. And also I bring my thesis project's idea of this location-based audio game into some other projects, because this one named Utbrida Ljud is a project aimed at strengthening local identity and connection to the unique cultural and natural landscape. But that's the bigger project. Like my project is like part of this bigger project, and the idea is to use frames, like on the right side of this picture. Like we put these frames and to use them as a structure for transforming the landscape surrounding us to art. And at the same time, there will be audio clips triggered based on the location. So that's my project, counts in this way, that you will listen to stories and with some interactive elements when you're standing in front of those frames. And this one was on 15th October in Hoofde, and we also brought it to some other places like Wahomsbrokus is nearby Tidan, another small cities, also 20-30 minutes away from Hoofde. And this was fun because Martin from the Tibro Museum, like this guy from Tibro Museum, he is archaeology, and he also, when he tested my previous prototype, he found it super funny. So super funny, super fun. So he decided to record some audio contents with like because he knows about the region, so he talks about history and folklores about the area, and I made them into a game, a narration for the players to experience. So I would say that not only that Hoofde is a city with close connection between people, I would say like the entire region, like Skaraborg or even Västergötland, has this feeling of community that you can meet different people with similar interests, and then you can do interesting things together. So that's why I really enjoy here, and that I am still planning to stay. And thank you. So that's all for my presentation.
Thank you so much, Dawn.